Hey guys, welcome to Chalktalkacademy.com. Today we're going to talk about our stick concept. It's a great quick passing game concept that horizontally stretches the field. I think it's a great concept to have in your offense, whether you're a one-back team, a two-back team, double tights, whatever. I think it's a great concept that you can start off in your quick passing game, give it to your quarterbacks and your receivers early in spring. They can work on it throughout the spring and into the summer, and then you can build from there. So we'll take a look at our concept here. We're going to take a look at our stick side first. So we'll talk about our stick route first. So that comes from the number 2 spot here on the stick side. So whether he's going to be an attached tight end or he's going to be a detached tight end, you don't want to remove him too far from the tackle box because you're going to want to create a good stretch here between 2 and 3. And 3 is usually coming from the backfield here. So with our stick route, we run it at 5 yards. There's a slight in, up, and you're going to spit yourself out at 5 yards. To the stick side, the number 1 guy is going to run a must outside release go. Right there, so if you're playing a cover 2 team, you're going to get that cloud corner to stretch out horizontally, and you're going to make the flat area just a little bit bigger. Coming from the backfield, or you're using motion, but the number 3 spot is going to run an arrow route, and he's going to get himself into the flat area. We don't talk too much about depth. We talk mostly about horizontal width with that, because right here, that's where you're going to create the horizontal width, where your quarterback's going to be able to read that defender in that area if you're playing against a leverage team. So you've got your stick route at 5, you've got your arrow route emphasizing width is most important, and then to that side, the number 1 guy is going to run a must outside release go from a plussed out position. Here on the back side, what we're running, the number 1 spot, what we're running right there is just a simple hitch route at 5 yards. Number 2 is going to run a little spot route right over the guard at 5 yards as well. So as you can see, as you look across this field, it's a complete horizontal stretch of the whole defense. Now, from a quarterback progression standpoint, comes up to the line, obviously he's reading safeties and coverages and just trying to figure out what's going on. His first thought process is, can he get the football to the hitch route? And we just call that a take it. It's a must take it if you have it, if you've got a soft corner, and if you've got a leverage defender that's playing inside of number 2, let's take that hitch until they don't give it to us anymore. If that's not part of the equation, it's all right here. The way we've been reading it arrow to stick. And basically, what your quarterback's just going to do, he's just going to get his eyes to this flat defender. He's going to use good quick game footwork, which here we'd use a rocker step, where he'd rocker step, get his eyes to the flat area, and see if this tailback or this number 3 spot can outflank the defense immediately. If he does, then we get the football here. If he's getting squeezed with leverage right here, now the window gets created here for our stick route. So it's a very easy concept. I think it's something you can use a lot of different formations. You can use motion, but in the end, you've got guys going to the same spots no matter what formation you're using or motion adjustments. But from the standpoint of the quarterback, can he get the football to the take it? If not, he's going arrow to stick as your quarterback advances versus some man teams. Obviously, if you've got press man here and it's 1 high, this thing's going to convert to either a fade or to a go. And then here, this thing's going to turn into a bounce, and that's where this guy can become an option. I think there's a little bit more teaching to go with that. But I think from a standpoint, whether you're in youth football or high school football, I think you teach it as you take this right here in the hitch route immediately if you have it. If not, you go arrow to stick. Just want to break this down a little bit more. Here, as you can see, we're only going to take a look at our stick and our tailback coming from the number 3 spot, getting out into the flat. I think some key coaching points. We'll start with the stick route. Obviously, if you're not going to be an attached tight end, you're going to be a detached tight end. You don't want to remove yourself from the tackle box that much. So maybe it's 1.5 yards, maybe it's 2.5 yards, but you don't want to remove yourself that much. With this route, you're going to have a slight in move, up to 5, spit yourself out at 5. It's not a continuous move as an out route right there. What you're going to do is you're going to find the window just when you spit yourself out. It could happen at 1 yard, it could happen at 2, 3, 4, but it's not going to be a continuous fluid out route with that stick route. Now, taking a look at this arrow route, the number 1 thing we're going to talk about with this tailback is he's going to take a little bit of a wider alignment, so hopefully within your spread run game, you're going to have an alignment that your tailback lines up wide, so you can match that with stick, so the defense can't identify every time that the tailback's wide that he's going to be running an arrow route. So you want to be able to line him up out here and bring him back this way on an outside zone or some sort of stretch play the opposite way. So with this route, we don't talk about depth at all. If they get 1 yard, that's great in terms of their route. What we talk about mostly is their horizontal width. So we don't talk about depth. It's all about getting width. What we've got to try and do here is we want to put a conflict on the defense between the 2 and 3. Okay? We want to put a nice horizontal stretch here on this flat defender. So if he squeezes here and we outflank, he gets the football. If he gets wide, now what that does is that creates a window for the stick. So I think a key coaching point as you're starting to build this into your offense is you've got to take a hard look and teach these kids, don't remove yourself too much from the box. Take a little bit of a wider alignment here by T. Width is more important than depth. This is a 5-yard route, and the exchange between 2 and 3 on the defense is crucial. Just continuing on here with our stick concept here, I've got a simple empty package up here, a 3x2 empty package. We're going to run our stick concept. We're going to use some motion. Right here, what we're going to do, we're going to call this our stick side over here. So we're going to know number 1 is going to run a must outside release go. We're going to use a little bit of motion right here. We know he becomes the number 3 spot. He's going to run his arrow route. You've got your in, up, and out at 5 yards. You've got your backside. You've got a hitch, and you got your backside spot there at 5 yards. Just get inside the tackle box. So there's a simple way. Line up and empty. You know, most defenses want to really slide to that trip side. You're going to use some motion. You're going to get those guys thinking before the snap. Obviously, it all starts right here. If you've got the take it, let's take it. If you got the matchup, if defenses are going to slide to the trip side, you know that leverage defender is going to line up inside of number 2. Take that. If you don't have it, simply go arrow to stick. Another variation out of empty that we've used, and you'll see video on that as well. Is we'll just line up right there, 3x2 into the boundary. We'll move this guy over here into the 3 spot. He's going to run the arrow. It's just another way to get that defense sliding. It can be an easy take it right here. If not, you're simply going 1 to 2 right there with the arrow to stick. And you know how it is for defenses in empty. You know, every week teams are going to have a different way to defend empty, and you've just got to figure out how you can take advantage of it. Some teams will keep it simple. Some teams will bring pressure. If they're going to bring pressure, obviously they're going to try and bring 6. They only got 5 to cover. It's a quick passing game. You should be able to get it out, but you should be able to get your one-on-one matchups here, or you could get something here with their own little rub right there as you're getting this defender to move over here. If they don't bounce, you're going to get a natural rub right there to get the ball to the flat. So there's a couple variations for our stick concept.